to be another full face tutorial. I posted one not too long ago, and when I posted that one, I got a ton of requests to do one with affordable products. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. So I decided to do something that was a little bit brighter, bolder, a little bit out of my normal comfort zone. I'm not a really big fan of blue eyeshadow, but I wanted to do something different. And then I also wanted to do something that would be spring appropriate because spring is almost here and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I did this kind of blue halo smoky eye, and I actually like the way that it turned out. I decided to pair it with kind of like a peachy nude lip because I didn't want to overdo it with the lip because the blue is just so bold and out there. I kind of wanted to keep the lip a little bit more neutral. And then also in this video, I used a ton of products from Karity. I have just been so in love with their eyeshadows. They have been my go-to ones. So all the eyeshadows that I used in this video are from Karity, and I just love them so much. I've actually filled up an entire palette now because they are just so amazing. And the great thing about these is that they are MAC dupes, and they're only about $5, and you can get them a little bit cheaper than that if you use my discount code. So I'll list that below, but I highly recommend these eyeshadows. The quality is just really nice. The pigmentation is everything, and they're really blendable. And this turquoise blue shade is pretty much what inspired the look that I did today. Just take a look at the pigmentation. Like, the pigmentation is everything, and although you do want your eyeshadows to be pigmented, you also want them to be able to blend, and with these eyeshadows you just get both of them. You get the blendability and you also get the pigmentation, so it's a double whammy and you just can't beat it with a stick. I am so in love with these eyeshadows. I also use their contour palette, so it comes with 3 contour shades. I use this last one as a bronzer because it does have a little bit more orange to it, and I mixed these other 2 and I use that for a contour shade. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. One more product I want to talk about before we jump into the tutorial, and that is this Correct and Conceal palette. This thing is bomb, you guys. So I use this to clean up around my brows, and then I also used it for my under eye concealer. I just wanted to show you guys that this palette is multifunctional. The concealers are really creamy, and I do think it is comparable to the MAC Studio Finish Concealer if you guys are familiar with that. It's just really nice. I love the consistency, really great for your brows, and this will also be a great product if you have like a clientele or you do freelance or anything like that. So I highly recommend that you guys check this out. I did use some brushes from Karity as well, and I will say the brushes are comparable to the Sigma brushes. So I will have everything listed below so you guys can check it out. Now we're gonna go ahead and get started on the tutorial. So starting off with the brows, I'm going to be using an NYC brow pencil and a brow powder from Ruby Kisses. So I start off by making an outline with the pencil, and then I like to go back in with a powder and just fill everything in. I feel like using a powder makes it look a little bit softer. So yeah, I just like to go in with the powder, and after that I'm going to take my concealer palette from Karity, and I'm going to use a concealer that's 2 shades lighter for under my brow, and this is just going to clean up the brow. I haven't really had my brows threaded in a while, so I like to add the concealer, and I'm just blending everything out here. Now we're going to prime our eyes for eyeshadow, and I'm using this NYX Proof It eyeshadow primer, and I will say after wearing it all throughout the day, it did help my eyeshadow stay on longer. So you always want to make sure that you're using some type of primer. The first eyeshadow I'm going to be applying from Karity is called Tarte, and also the fluffy brush that I'm using is also from Karity as well. So I am just putting this color in the crease, going back and forth in windshield wiper motions. And then here I'm just taking a clean fluffy brush and I'm going over that transition shade, and I'm just blending out any harsh lines. So the next eyeshadow from Karity is called Panama Gold, and it has a little bit more of a browny orange undertone. So I am just popping this in the crease just to kind of layer the eyeshadows and create a little bit more dimension. Now I'm going to go in with this beautiful blue shade, and it's also from Karity as well, and the name of this one is Poppin' J. So I'm just applying this eyeshadow to the inner corner and then also the outer portion of my lid area. And the deeper blue shade is called Fetish, and you want to apply this eyeshadow in the space that you left between the other blue shadow. You want to make sure that you blend the two eyeshadows together so that there's no obvious harsh lines. Going back in with the shadow we used earlier, the one called Poppin' J, we're going to apply just a little bit of this to the crease area, not much at all, and I'm using a small fluffy brush to do this. Going back in with the eyeshadow we used as the transitional shade, which was called Tart, I'm just blending everything out, and then I'm also touching up the colors on the lid area as well. And now I'm using a makeup remover wipe just to clean up any fallout that I had. And I'm also going to apply a lighter eyeshadow to the inner tear duct. And this shade is also from Karity. It's called Birthday Suit. Now I'm taking my liquid liner, and I am just going to do a wing liner. Not anything too dramatic, but you know, just a little bit of wing action. Now I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara to my lashes just to blend my real lashes with the fake eyelashes that I'm going to be using. And the fake eyelashes I'm applying are by Xoxo Lashes, and this is in the style Risque. So I'm just going to pop those on really quickly, and once I get those applied, I'm going to go back over everything with my liquid liner. So now I'm going to begin applying this primer to my face. I'm using this one from L'Oreal. It's their Magic Lumi Primer, and it's really more for people with drier skin because it did make me a little oily when I had it on throughout the day. So if you're oily, you might want to avoid this primer. The next primer I'm applying is also from L'Oreal, and it's their Magic Base Perfecting Primer. And this one's really great. I love it because it kind of smooths out pores and fine lines and things like that. And for my foundation, I'm using another product from L'Oreal, and this is the True Match, and I'm in the shade W8. So I just like to apply it all over my face and then blend it in. And the brush that I'm using is the flat top brush from Karity, and I really like this brush. I definitely would say it's comparable to the Sigma F80 brush. So yeah, if you guys are interested in a dupe that's a little bit cheaper, then definitely check this brush out. I think it's really great for blending in a foundation. Now to highlight, I'm going back in with my concealer palette from Karity, and I'm just going to apply the concealer underneath the areas that I want to highlight. So underneath my eyes, and then like on my forehead and on my chin area. And I'm using this like painter foundation brush to apply it to the areas that I want to highlight. And then I just blend everything out with a Sephora number 56 brush. And the painter brush that I used to apply the concealer was from Karity. I'm not exactly sure the number, but I'll have everything listed below so you guys can check it out. Once you have the concealer blended out, you just want to go over everything so that there's no harsh lines. Now I'm going to set the concealer, and I'm using my Sacha Buttercup setting powder. I love this stuff. You guys probably already know that. So yeah, I'm just applying it to the areas that I highlighted, and I'm going to let it kind of bake, I guess you could say. This is just going to prevent the concealer from creasing. Anytime you apply you know, any type of cream product, you always want to set it so that it lasts a little bit longer. But now I'm just sweeping the powder away. now I'm gonna take the contour palette from Karity, and I'm using this shade on the far right. I'm going to bronze up my skin. This shade seems to have a little bit more of an orange undertone to it, so I'm using this one as a bronzer. Then I'm going to go back in with these two shades that I have with the cute little hearts on them, and I am going to contour, because as you guys can see, it has a little bit more of gray to it, and when you contour, you want to create a shadow, and shadows normally are more gray than orange, if that makes any sense. So now I'm just going over everything and blending it, you know, blending it together so that there's no harsh lines. You always want to make sure that you're doing this step. It's going to be very crucial. Now I'm just going to contour my nose a little bit, and I'm using this small little angled brush from Karity. I love it for contouring my nose because it is so small that it gets really precise. Now I'm gonna take this liner from L'Oreal, and I'm gonna line my bottom waterline, and I love this liner. Like, it is by far my favorite. So I'm taking another eyeshadow from Karity. This one's called Jinx, and I'm just smudging this underneath the lash line just to add a little bit more of contrast from blues, I guess you could say. And now I'm touching up the inner tear duct shade. And I'm just applying a little bit of mascara to my bottom lashes to pull the entire eye look together. I'm going in with this blush palette that's also from Karity, and I mixed two shades together because I didn't want anything that was too dark, but I didn't want it to be too light. So I'm just blending it, you know, blending it out. You always gotta blend. And for the highlight, I just used this light shade out of the contour palette, but I really wasn't sure how I felt about it on my skin tone. I think it was a little bit too light, but I just kind of made it work. And then for my lips, I used a lip liner from ColourPop, and it's called Brink, and a liquid lipstick that I used. This was actually an ultra satin lip, and it is in the shade Echo Park, and I'm not really sure why my lips were so dry and ashy, but yeah, I'm just applying the liquid lipstick, and that is pretty much it for this affordable full face routine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye. But I noticed when using this product, it is definitely full coverage. Like, this product gives me full coverage. I've heard some people say that it's like light to medium. Ain't no light to medium, bitch, okay? Like, this is literally full